I worked undercover in Shein's factory village, the truth behind fast fashion. Sadly, tragically, I'm expecting some child labor. Yeah.
This is a video about the secret village behind Shein supply chain miracle. A
A whole
place most
village.
people have never seen on YouTube.
God damn.
Local people call it Shein Village because there are hundreds of factories here making clothes for Shein.
Yeah, also looks very poor. This is not what people imagine as East Asia.
Back in 2021, Shein was blamed for labor violations in its supply chain, including excessive working hours, super low pay, harsh working conditions, and even child labor.
Of course.
Shein then promised $15 million to upgrade its extensive supply chain, including facility upgrades and worker support programs. But the criticism Shein faces has been hard to shake off.
75-hour work weeks?
So I'm here in the village to see if these accusations are true and if Shein fulfilled its promise or not.
Yeah, but where is this? Wait, which country? Where is it?
Good morning from Nancun in Guangzhou. This is also known as Shein Village.
I'm guessing China, right?
It's 7:35 on a Saturday morning. A few workers have already started their day.
God damn.
And just in 10 minutes, the streets are packed with people heading to work. If I'm not mistaken, that's about 300,000 people working here every day.
So this is like a whole separate village, or was it built next to like this built a big city that she mentioned? And most people that moved here like years ago maybe moved here just because of that company alone? Or was it just a combination of multiple companies that do this and just Shein just, stepped in because they saw a lot of clothing companies doing this, especially in, let's say, in East Asia, and they just stepped in and they were like, okay, let's dominate this industry, and they employed most people eventually.
Before Shein became the fast fashion giant, this place was already one of the biggest garment hubs in China.
Okay, so I was right. I didn't
People
pre-watch
say there
this.
are around 5,000 factories here. Over 500 of them are core suppliers for Shein,
Holy
and
shit.
another 1,000 smaller workshops acting as their subcontractors. Job ads are everywhere in the village. Here I see a lot from Shein factories, but very few actually list the pay.
Of course.
I met two guys looking for ironing jobs.
It's like LinkedIn, they never show you the pay. And if they show you the pay, it's usually a range, and you're getting the lower part of the range.
Who gave me a rough idea of the working schedules here.
我上一份之前他累了我就没做了，现在加班12点1点钟。
God damn.
加到1点钟。
对
是啊，你以为之前都是这样子的，就是
他那个身体熬不住，
11点、
变成熬夜。
1000多件，你是从早上几点烫到晚上啊？
有的厂是8点，有的厂是9点，早上9点钟到。
So if the laws in this country or this local government, maybe it's just the local government, but I don't think it's, I think it's the country, right? It's on the bigger government, right? If they allow this, then why not way more other industries do this? Or do they actually do this? Way more other industries? Also, there's not any laws for like safety precautions for, I don't know, maybe an AC when it's cold or hot.
上11点。
加班有
Nothing.
加班工资吗？
你基建的你怎么搞？
之前不存在什么。
这些东西
那你们做大烫一件烫多少钱呀、
3毛钱一件，4毛钱一件，烫
46 cents a piece, 1,000 pieces a day.
一个月只休息1天。对呀，你想请假都难。
不能请假。
很赶货呢，他怎么给你请假？
Oof. Yeah, I've been there.
Ironing is not easy. You stand all day and have to get every little detail right.
Okay,
That's
there's
why they don't
fans.
usually hire women for it. This guy told me his coworker started doing this when he was 7 or 8 and has been doing it for 30 years.
What the fuck? Yeah, it's a government issue. There's no way. Even maybe they're doing this like somehow legally, like, and they're like giving their paychecks just, you know, under the table, they call it. How can a 7-year-old have a bank account? You know what I mean? And there's no way the government, if this is done illegally, there's no way the government doesn't know this. So China, or whatever country this is in, I think it's China. What the fuck are you guys doing? You're insane.
这么重，很重，5斤哦。
2.5 kilograms is heavy for you? Girl, you gotta go to the gym. What the I just saw a girl squat like 110, 20 kilograms. She was huge in the gym today. So, yeah.
The busiest time for hiring is in the morning, especially for temporary workers. Factories hang their best-selling items right out on the street. People stop to check the work, comparing piece rates. This is how the village supports Shein's small batch quick response production model, which means keep the inventory low. And when something goes viral, factories are pushed to produce more. From design to shelf, it can take as little as 72 hours.
Oh god, imagine these people working here just seeing social media, something blowing up, and they're like, oh, well, looks like that vacation I wanted to took off this weekend because I have 1 day off for the month. Looks like I won't be able to take it off because instead of 1,000 products, I'd have to make 10,000 because this went viral.
This female broker thought I was looking for a job, and now she's taking me to a factory.
16岁啊？哪有那么小？童工不要了啊！童工抓到罚款的。
I mean, a 16-year-old working isn't really bad. Like most people that I know that were 16 and in high school, you know, used to have most people that I used to be friends with, not everybody, but a lot of people that I used to be friends with when we were 16, they had a job, but you know, it has to be approved by your parents, and usually it's like a normal 8-hour-a-day waiter job, you know, or they're just or some of them were working in the gym, you know, as staff.
I guess one thing is pretty clear now. Child labor is forbidden here.
It is, okay.
有做过吗？赶紧，我带你去试一下工序。
That looks like hell.
确定的话，今天就上班。
After a quick check, the boss asked if I could start working today. And I met this woman here who trims loose threads.
电子厂之类的啊，没有记忆厂这么累。说实在的，
电子厂比制衣厂还要轻松一点吗？
那肯定轻松多了。那些都是固定时间上班下班，这里的是时间真的是做个熬出来的。还有的选我都不选这样，没办法，我们。
That's sad.
这个里面最厉害的一个月能赚多少钱？
最厉害的，线上做
$50 a day?
你要手脚多快才能有1万块。
That's still, you know what's the effed up part? That's still more than the average monthly salary where I live in Southeastern Europe. It is what it is, but this is China.
要做多少件才能到300多？
Also, this is making me like more, like, think about it. There's a lot of people that are vegan out there that are, you know, overly obsessed of not wearing animal products, clothing coming from animals, right? From animal skin. Totally okay. I don't have any problem with that, right? But now this is making me think maybe I should, you know, research more about these companies, and probably most huge companies do use some kind of child labor in East Asia, South Asia, Southeast Asia, maybe even parts of Africa, maybe even parts of South America, probably, right? And not support them and not buy from them. Maybe I can just buy from local places, you know? Maybe if there's, I don't know, I think it would be hard from one of the huge world brands to find like one or multiple brands that you can buy, you know, very often, and be sure that they don't use stuff, then they don't do stuff like this. Maybe I'm wrong. What you guys think in the comments?
600件
Maybe there's actually like Zara,
那公司是5毛钱一件
H&M.
300
Do they do this? I don't know.
2万吗？
没有。
Nike and Adidas probably do it, and I love Nike. Yeah.
基本上都是6000、7000。
In this village, the salary depends on how complicated the garment is and how fast you are. The rates are transparent, everyone gets the same, but most pieces pay just 3 to 12 cents. Inside one of the factories, I saw Shein's code of conduct. It says suppliers should arrange working hours reasonably and complying with local laws. But
Comply
people
with
work
local
about 12
laws, but China isn't complying with local laws because of, like, wait, but local law says that you can work 12 to 13 hours a day and be paid not enough and have child labor? Probably not, right?
to 13 hours a day. That's nearly 80 hours a week, almost double China's 40-hour legal limit.
There we go. Also, I'm happy that I was right. It was China. Well, it's sad, but yeah.
From Shein's perspective, the pay is very competitive. It's more than 40%, even 75% higher than the local average. They emphasized this in a wage investigation published 3 years ago. I'm not sure if those numbers are reliable.
Yeah, I was about to
But
say
even
that.
so, if you don't mention the crazy hours behind that pay, it's hard to say the pay is competitive.
Yeah.
他不可以迟到的。
So why is everything here paid by piece rate? I got an answer from this factory manager.
Also, imagine AI and robotics and all these evil fucking companies they just can't wait to use this and just let off all these people. In countries like China and European countries, North American countries, other countries in East Asia, like those industries there would be the first to adopt robotics and AI in their fucking jobs, in their companies. They are doing it right now.
8月的没有。
8月的服装厂8月都包倒闭了，是不是？
In this village, piece rate is a must. And that's mainly because Shein squeezes factory profits hard. On Douyin, China's version of TikTok, you'll see many Shein suppliers sharing how hard it is to run a factory.
Of course.
According to
Gotta
this
justify the evil stuff they're doing somehow.
guy who knows a lot of Shein suppliers, they probably only make around 10 to 20% profit from Shein. But for cross-border e-commerce, you need at least 50% to actually make money. Because there are so many risks shipping products overseas, sometimes the shipping cost is more than the products themselves. And behind that, Shein's pricing team plays a big role. They give a suggested selling price for suppliers, and sometimes that price is even lower than items cost.
为什么不做细呢？首先，
According to this factory owner who has been making clothes for Shein for many years, when sales go up, Shein comes back and asks for a lower price. If you say no, a few days later you will see the same thing listed cheaper on the platform. She said, I'm the one sitting on all the inventory. I'm the one rushing to get orders out. I'm already giving them my lowest price, and they even want me to cut it in half. Shein just doesn't leave us any room to make a living.
一定要把价格压到最低。
It's almost 9 o'clock. The factories are still full of people. Walking through these factories, I feel a deep
Yo, I couldn't imagine working in a factory till like 1 a.m. and not being able to feed myself. And something goes viral, and then I know I'm fucked for the rest of the week.
sense of struggle.
Month even.
What I see is a massive low-cost labor force that's driving China's manufacturing boom. But I also see the cost. Under weak labor protections, this hyper-competitive work culture takes a toll on people's personal life. Just 2 kilometers away from the village is
Look
Shein's
at this.
headquarters. The office staff here follow the so-called
There's a huge difference. Like, that village looks like it's a second world country. It looks, I didn't say third world because, some places where I live in looks like this and even worse. I live in a second world country. But looks horrible, looks unclean. People there are struggling. Meanwhile, 2 kilometers away, 2 fucking kilometers away, you have this.
242 rule, meaning they are expected to work at least 242 hours a month. That's basically 8 hours a day if you worked every single day of the month. And last year, the rule changed to 264 hours, just 24 hours shy of China's extreme 996 work culture.
996? What does that mean? You can't work 999 6 hours in a month. What does that mean? I personally think that 996 is a huge blessing, said Jack Ma, Chinese billionaire and Chinese billionaire and co-founder says that, of the online shopping giant Alibaba. Earlier this year, how do you achieve the success you want without paying extra effort and time? You achieve it by paying extra effort and time, and by not paying your workers enough, right? Ma was referring to the work culture that has taken root in China's technology and stand-up sectors. Many employees work from 9 in the morning to 9 in the evening, 6 days a week. Listen, man. I work sometimes 10 hours, sometimes maybe 20 hours, 12 hours, what the fuck. But I don't have a classic job. I train people in a gym, right? Beginners in the gym, right? I'm a gym instructor. I also make YouTube videos on both of my channels. I try to grow that, right? It doesn't really take me that much. And I also freelance edit. I got a few small clients that I edit for. And it's 3 different things. And they're like, I can do them separately whenever I can. And I'm not really in a rush. And I don't really feel it. But being in a factory for 12 hours, now we know why. And this is an issue like the work culture thing. It's not just in China. It's not just in these factories, even though this is next level shit. It's in the education. It's in corporations as well. In office work, I mean. And it happens in Japan and it happens in Korea. A lot of pressure when it comes to education and a lot of pressure when it comes to very, very hard, long working hours. Also, school, very long hours, you know what I mean? And also, doesn't science say that working or studying for more than 4 hours, you're not really that productive anymore, especially if it's not labor stuff. But if it's labor stuff, like, god damn it, you're a human, you need to rest, you know what I mean? So that's why in a lot of East Asian countries, suicide rates are very high because of stuff like this. I totally get it.
A former Shein employee wrote on Rednote, a social media platform in China.
Yeah, we know
I don't
Rednote.
expect to get rich working 242 or even 264 hours a month.
How do you work that many hours?
I wasn't
That
born
is-
just to
that's
work like
insane.
an ox or a horse.
Yes.
I'm here to enjoy the world.
Yes.
But for
I
factory
agree.
workers, it's not the hard work that scares them. It's the uncertainty of whether there will be orders tomorrow.
Oof.
That's why some factories make steady work and plenty of orders the main selling point in their job ads. Even though none of those factories here offer contracts.
So there's also, so she's trying to say that there is hardly any other option to work outside of moving outside of this village, which is probably very hard when you don't have the finances. You know, maybe in the West that's way more normalized. I don't know a lot about China, but in the West it's way more normalized to like get a job in a bigger city and then find some people to rent an apartment with. and then move in with, you know, 1 or 2 roommates, 3 people in like maybe a little bit bigger of an apartment, and get a job and move out of the fucking village or wherever you are, you know, and move to another city. Maybe that's not as easily done in China, or maybe there's laws against it. I don't know. Or maybe it's the mentality. I don't know why people wouldn't, like, that's what I would try to do. But maybe the education is much worse in this village, and people aren't able to get educated. Again, it sounds very insane to me if that's the reality. When we saw the city, how it looks like just 2 kilometers away. You know what I mean? Like, I can walk, like, if I have to save my life to not work in a factory, I will walk 2 kilometers front and back to the city. There's probably public transport as well, but if I had to, I would, to get some kind of an education, to get the fuck out of this village and get some type of a job there, you know? Start with something bad and try to go up in whatever career I choose. Or I test out multiple careers and I try to get an education, right? Maybe maybe there's something prohibiting people doing this here. Which I don't believe, I don't know.
社保肯定没有。
那都没有，就这个的哪里有这东西？什么五险一金，那肯定没有的。
In fact, a lot of factories have closed this year, according to some workers. They're not really sure why, but they guess it might have something to do with the US-China trade tensions and the slowing economy here.
Probably.
Like this Shein factory, which is almost empty. This woman told me there are not enough orders, and she's anxious about...
I feel so bad, man. She's anxious? God damn it, man. I hope these people find some kind of peace and a better life in the city with some kind of better job opportunities. But there's a lot of issues facing China when it comes to a lot of older people, not enough new people being born. That's an issue here in the West as well. Like, I've got nothing against people choosing, but I've got against people being forced into having kids if they don't want to have kids. But there's always a negative side, and you just gotta choose what you're okay to live with. Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comments. This kind of made me a little bit depressed, I'm not gonna lie. And it's like 12:46 a.m. me filming this video. I'm basically working up until 1 a.m. as well. Not nearly the same. I'm not complaining, okay? Tell me what you think, and have a nice day.